Imagine you've lived in your house for 40 years. You've painted the walls, raised your children there, and fixed the roof. You feel like a king in your castle. Then, one Tuesday afternoon, there's a knock. It's not a burglar. It's not an enemy. It's a man in a suit with a clipboard. He doesn't have a weapon, he has a piece of paper. He tells you that you never actually owned the land. You were just a tenant who stopped paying rent so long ago that you forgot the landlord even existed. And now, the grace period is over. Most people think the apocalypse is about a god who lost his temper. They see fire, blood, and monsters and think it's a cosmic tantrum, but they're wrong. The most terrifying thing about the apocalypse isn't the fire falling from the sky. It's the fact that the fire has a legal right to be there. You've been told the seals of Revelation are random disasters. They're not. They are the official eviction notices for a planet that has stopped paying its rent to the Creator. The earth is a crime scene, yes, but more importantly, it is a property under litigation. And the trial of the millennium is about to begin. In the ancient world, when you sold a piece of land, the contract was written on a scroll. The conditions of the sale were on the inside, and the outside was sealed with wax. Only the rightful owner, the one who held the title deed, could break those seals. In Revelation chapter 5, the entire cosmos weeps because no one is found worthy to open the scroll. Why? Because the human race traded away the deed to earth for a lie. We became squatters on our own planet. But then, a lamb steps forward. He looks like he's been through a slaughterhouse, yet he is standing. He takes the scroll. As he breaks the first 4 seals, the 4 horsemen are released. We often view these as supernatural hits sent by God. But look closer. They are the natural consequences of human greed and violence finally being unrestrained. The white horse of false peace. The red horse of total war. The black horse of economic collapse. The pale horse of death. When the landlord stops holding back the entropy, this is what happens. It is the settlement being reached. Revelation 6:16 tells us that the leaders of the earth hide in caves, crying out to the mountains, "Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who sits on the throne." They aren't afraid of a monster, they are afraid of the truth. They realize that the statute of limitations on their cruelty has finally run out. If the seals are the legal notices, the trumpets are the sirens. In the ancient Near East, trumpets weren't for a symphony, they were for war. They were blown to signal an approaching army or to warn a city to surrender before the siege began. The trumpets are the cosmos screaming at us. It's as if the environment itself is testifying against its inhabitants. Listen to the testimony of the first angel. The first angel sounded, and hail and fire followed, and 1/3 of the trees were burned up. Revelation 8:7. 1/3 of the trees, 1/3 of the sea, 1/3 of the stars. Why only 1/3? Because even now, in the middle of the judgment, the judge is being patient. He is ruining the profit of the planet to see if the people will finally look up from their ledgers. The trumpets are a merciful warning. They say, "The system is breaking. The walls are coming down. Get out of the house before it collapses." But history shows that when a tenant is determined to stay, they will ignore the sirens until the door is kicked in. Finally, we reach the 7 bowls. This is what the Bible calls the full strength of the law. The plaintiff has waited 6,000 years. He has watched every injustice, every hidden tear, and every drop of innocent blood spilled into the soil. People ask, how could a loving God do this? The legal answer is, how could a just God not? The bowls represent the vials of wrath. This isn't anger as we know it. It's not a temper tantrum. It is the weight of justice finally being poured out until the old, corrupt system is dissolved. There is no more 1/3 here. The eviction is total. the lease is terminated. The old heavens and the old earth are being cleared away because the new landlord is moving in.
So, what do we do with this? How do we live in a world that is currently under a legal notice to quit? First, we must realize that justice is patient, but not passive. If you see evil prospering today, don't mistake God's silence for his absence. Delayed judgment is actually the king giving time for a settlement. He is waiting for you to change your plea. Second, we must understand that creation reacts to morality. The environment and our ethics are legally linked. When we stop honoring the Creator, the creation itself becomes a weapon against us. And finally, the most poignant truth of all, the Lamb is the judge. The one who is breaking the seals is the same one who took the penalty of the law upon himself. The one who suffered the most is the only one qualified to sentence the world. He isn't a distant bureaucrat. He is a judge who paid the bail for anyone willing to accept it. The eviction is coming, not because God is cruel, but because the world has become a house that is no longer fit for the spirit of life. The question isn't whether the fire will fall. The question is, where will you be standing when it does? The title deed has been reclaimed. The kingdom is moving in. It's time to decide whose side of the legal line you're on. If this perspective on the apocalypse opened your eyes, hit the like button and subscribe so as not to miss any new episode. I want to hear from you in the comments. We've looked at the world as a property that has stopped paying its moral rent. If the scroll was open today, what is the one thing in our modern world you think deserves an eviction notice first? Let's talk about it below.